Hey, my name's Glynn. I am the manager of the hostel and our supported accommodation here at the Cardinal Hume Centre. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a tour around the hostel reception area and let you know a little bit about what we do here. So if you follow me, we'll go into the reception. Welcome to the reception here. This is my colleague Dan. This is Amy that you'll see in another couple of videos. This is the epicentre of the hostel. We're open 24 hours a day. We'll have staff on all through the night that stay awake, and then we have our support staff that stay and support the young people during the day. So Dan and Amy both hold a caseload. That's the doorbell. So Dan's going to let someone in now. There we go. He's very good at doing that. So yeah, these two staff members will both be key working some of our residents. At the moment, we have 32 people in our hostel, so we're full at the moment. And people will come to us for a variety of different reasons. It could be they are asylum seekers and have come into the country and need support, or it could be that they've been living in London, in the Westminster area, and have maybe had an argument with their family, or they've been asked to leave by family and friends. So people come here for a variety of different reasons, but whenever they do come in, we want to make sure that they feel welcome, they feel supported, and we can work with them to move them on to somewhere better to live for them. Brilliant. This is one of our offices that the support workers are working in at the moment. Whilst obviously the coronavirus pandemic is on, we've had to spread people across the building and make sure people are safe. But this might be somewhere where they can sit down with one of the residents and really work through what sort of support needs they have, what sort of things the young person wants to achieve in their lives. Do they want to go to college? Do they want to get a job? All of these sort of things we want to really find out about the people that stay here so that we can support them to have a really positive future. And in the hostel, we have 32 beds. At the moment, 25% of them are female, 75% of them are male, and our sort of general age at the moment average age is about 20-year-olds. We've got about 18 people at the moment that have come from abroad, that are refugees, that are trying to find a safe place to live in Westminster. And on all of our sort of levels, we'll have different rooms. People share different facilities like the kitchen, lounges, and that includes 2 of our games rooms that are upstairs. This is one of our lounges. At the moment, it's looking pretty bare because we moved a few things around. Also, at the moment, we're trying to do the whole social distancing thing, so we're really trying to keep things as safe as possible here. But in usual times, we'll be doing activities and workshops. We have a brilliant life skills worker called Gail who comes in about three times a week, and she does cooking classes. She also does things like taking people to appointments when you can get out there. Things like that. People are really excited about the brunches that we do. So sometimes on a morning we'll do a brunch in here, and people can come and go as they please. But I think last time we did it, we had pancakes, and the time before that was like a full English breakfast. So it goes down very well. So welcome to one of our games rooms. This is kind of used as a bit of a games room, bit of a lounge. On the weekend, we had the football playing here, so people watching the FA Cup action on one of the world's hugest TVs, which was kindly donated to us. But this is really a place for people to feel comfortable. They can come and sit here after college, or maybe after work, or during the day. If they've got nothing on, they can come and relax and just feel like they're at home.
Can you describe some of the more typical hostel residents that would be coming to you, and ultimately the reason why they'd find themselves in the situation that they'd be in?
Yeah, of course. As you'll know, people come to us for such a variety of different reasons. I think in the video there, I said we had 32 rooms, and when that was filmed, that was they were all full. But just a great success story from today is someone moved on to a new place, which is great. But the reasons why people come to us can be so mixed. At the moment, we've got about 17 young people that have come from abroad who are known as unaccompanied asylum seeking children. and they would be coming from places like war-torn countries, Afghanistan, Sudan, Eritrea, where there's a lot of persecution, especially for sort of the religious groups out there. And these people come to us with nothing, and that they're under the care of Westminster, and we want to give them a safe place to live and a safe place to grow. There's also people from London that simply might have just fallen on hard times. There could have been a fight within the family. They could have been kicked out by their mum, their dad, or their guardian. So it's really, really interesting when you get people coming in to hear their story, hear what they've been through, and also try and work out how we can help them and move them on to independence. Our youngest age that we take into the hostel is 16, and we'll work with people and we'll accept people into the hostel up until about 24. So it's a really wide age group, and obviously at 16, 17, you're really just starting to get to understand the world around you. And we've got some of the kids that we've got at the moment are currently going off to college each day, trying to live a normal life, I guess they're trying to learn things, better themselves, and really push forward.
First thing I observe is that that's like no hostel I've ever laid my eyes on. That looks really homely. It looks really nice and comfortable, and it doesn't have it doesn't depict the typical image that one might expect a hostel to look like. And I assume that's a deliberate move.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to make sure people feel really comfortable, really at home whilst they stay with us. People can be with us for a couple of months, even up to a couple of years. So while people stay with us, we really want to make sure that they feel safe. That's a real priority for us. But we want to make sure they feel supported too.
How have the residents been coping with the notion of lockdown? We've all had to make adjustments. Most of us who are lucky enough to say we have a roof over our head have just stayed at home. We've stayed within our family, or if we don't have family, we just stay within our four walls. But I'd imagine that sort of in a hostel environment, that could be quite tricky because, of course, people have their own lives. And how have you been dealing with the pandemic?
It's been a really tough year. I'm not going to lie. The one thing I can say is that I've been just so impressed with the resilience of the young people that have stayed with us. These are people that have had, in some cases, really horrific childhoods. They've had really adverse experiences growing up, and so to be in a hostel in the middle of London during a pandemic, I can't imagine how that would have felt. But we've done lots of different things with them. Right at the beginning, we bought a basketball net, table tennis table, so we could have that outside, so people could be outside and have a bit of fun, whilst also trying to make sure that they don't go out and hang around with their friends too much outside.
Well, Glynn, don't go anywhere because we'll hear more from you in just a moment's time. But first, let's hear from one of those clients. This is James's story.
I wasn't used to people being interested in me, and didn't know what being happy was like. I was abused and neglected, and at 17 I was homeless and struggling with what had happened to me. I moved into the Cardinal Hume Centre hostel and got the support I needed. I really value the time here and the help with structure.
Well, there we go. James is just one of the clients that you help out, and I'm guessing that there are a fair few more than just James, but tell us a little bit about James's story.
Sure. So this is an individual that's been with us for a couple of years now. He has had a really, really difficult childhood, really experienced some really horrible and horrific abuse growing up, which meant that he wasn't able to trust people. He also wasn't able to really look after himself very well. So we've had to spend a lot of time with him over the months, over the years, really trying to encourage him to just in his confidence, but also just really encourage him to look after himself and do the simple things that we might think of, like cleanliness, like buying ourselves food. But yeah, the staff team have been incredible, just really getting alongside him and seeing him sort of slowly get steps towards his hopefully a bright future.
And of course, that these are just things that, as you say, we just take for granted. But if you've never had anyone to show you how to look after yourself, and it sounds like such a basic function, doesn't it? But if no one has ever actually taken the time to show you how to take care of yourself, well, then understandably, it has to fall to somebody else to do that for them. And that's obviously where you guys come in.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really rewarding when we see people improve their circumstances, and the ultimate goal for us is really to have people come in. Obviously, the reasons that why people come in can be quite shocking and can be quite sad, but when people move on, we really hope that they move on to somewhere more independent for them, and somewhere that they'll thrive in the future.
Well, I've no doubt that sort of with the work that you guys are doing, that I'm perfectly sure that you will do.